President Moon Jae-in has arrived in New York for a 5-day visit. Now, during this trip, he'll sit down with U.S. President Donald Trump for a bilateral summit. This will be the 9th time since taking office and address the 74th UN General Assembly. The hope here is that a successful few days in the Big Apple will grease the gears of the stalled U.S.-North Korea denuclearization negotiations. Shin Se-min follows this report from New York.
Two moments stand out as the highlights of President Moon Jae-in's marathon 5-day trip to New York. First, his one-on-one with his American counterpart Donald Trump on Monday local time, which will largely focus on North Korea-related matters. Second is his speech to other world leaders at the UN General Assembly on Tuesday. It'll be another occasion for the South Korean leader to show the world what Seoul has been doing to try and denuclearize the peninsula and forge a lasting peace.
The leaders of South Korea and the U.S. will consult on ways in which they can cooperate to ensure the complete denuclearization of the Korean peninsula and establish lasting regional peace. They will also talk in depth about consolidating their alliance as well as other pending regional issues.
The 9th summit between Presidents Moon and Trump will be their first since President Trump came to Seoul in late June. With their meeting scheduled on what appears to be the cusp of North Korea and the U.S. resuming working-level nuclear talks, the issue is likely to be at the heart of their discussions. They both want to ensure the working-level talks go smoothly so the process can gather some much-needed momentum after months of stagnation. Prior to his arrival in New York, President Moon expressed his determination to do all he can to foster peace and prosperity in the region.
트럼프 대통령과 정상회담을 통해 북미 대화를 적극 지지하고 지원할 것입니다.
Also on the president's agenda, upgrading the already strong bilateral relations between Seoul and Washington. A more touchy subject is negotiating next year's cost-sharing agreement for U.S. troops stationed in South Korea. The trade row between South Korea and Japan could also come up, considering the U.S. government's well-publicized disappointment that Seoul terminated an intel sharing pact with Japan as part of its response to Tokyo's trade curbs. The uptick in tensions has put the U.S. in a tough spot, as South Korea and Japan are key U.S. allies in the region and the linchpins of the ongoing denuclearization efforts. Also on the schedule on his first day in New York, President Moon will have meetings with UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, as well as his Polish and Danish counterparts on strengthening two-way ties. The president's biggest overseas mission this time is picking up his mediator role in the stalled nuclear talks between North Korea and the U.S. He sees himself as the best positioned to solidly lay the foundation for lasting peace on the Korean peninsula. Shin Se-min, Arirang News, New York.